Hello, everyone. We're going to start the induction ceremony at this time. Again, my name is Tom Thompson. As an SHS, Sherrard High School NHS chapter advisor, along with Mr. Lucas Fritsch, I'd like to welcome all of you to the 2023 induction ceremony of the Sherrard High School chapter of the National Honor Society. Our chapter originated in 1961 to recognize local high school students who have demonstrated excellence in the areas of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. We currently have 39 members in our chapter, and of those 39, will those in attendance please stand? So, tonight, we will add to our roles by inducting 18 sophomores and 2 juniors into our NHS chapter. At this time, I would like to welcome Ms. Jenna Copeland, our current NHS chapter president. Lauren?
Hello again. So our current NHS members have been keeping pretty busy so far this year. Our school year started off with the Riverbend Food Bank Hunger Drive, where we collected food from going door to door, asking for donations at Hy-Vee, and through competitions at the high school and elementary schools in the district. We collected enough food for thousands of meals to go to local families. We've also done continuous work with our school's resource room, Tiger Closet, and we've also prepared meals for our community through a Wonderful Wednesday program with Preemption Methodist Church, and we've worked on the pollinator plot project. With this project, we plan to create and maintain prairie plots to reintroduce native plants and wildlife to our community. Individually, current members also have been helping with various community projects. So now I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Wormington for our officer introductions.
Thank you. I would now like to introduce the current officers of the National Honor Society. Will all officers stand as your name is called and remain standing? President, Jenna Copeland. Vice President, Kaylee Anderson. Secretary, Kyla Ellsbury. Treasurer, Caitlin Barnhouse. And Historian, Haley Shemick. Great job, ladies. Thank you. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce our school board president, Mr. Reese Footerlove, who will introduce our guest speaker tonight.
Thanks, Mr. Warrington. So I have the pleasure tonight to get to introduce Sydney Rowling. Sydney is a 2016 graduate of Sherrard High School. While in high school, she participated in varsity soccer, FFA, band, color guard, class and all-class school senate, and was a member of the National Honor Society. Outside of school, she participated in 4-H and enjoyed showing horses. After graduating from Sherrard in 2016, Sydney attended Southern Illinois University in Carbondale, Illinois, on a full-ride academic scholarship studying agribusiness, economics, and accounting. While at Southern, Sydney worked as an assistant to the dean in the College of Agricultural Sciences. She was also student recruiter and led the college's umbrella organization, Agricultural Student Council. Sydney graduated from SIU in 2020 and has spent the last 3 years building a career in financial services industry. Sydney currently resides in Clinton, Iowa on their farm with her boyfriend Peyton and their 2 dogs, Sadie and Canyon. Please help me welcome back home, Sydney Rowling.
Good evening. Mr. Furlove, thank you for that wonderful introduction. I have to share quickly, when Mr. Fritsch asked me about tonight's event, I was pretty shocked. I'm not sure if it's that I'm just finally old enough. I'm 25. I've had some pretty crazy things happen to me that he's hoping I'm going to talk about, or if there's actually something admirable about my life to date. But regardless, I'm extremely honored to be here with all of you tonight. By a show of hands, who has heard the saying, you can't control the cards you are dealt, just how you play them? Okay? What about, it's not about what happens to you, just how you respond that matters. Okay? And what about everything happens for a reason? Okay, thank you. In essence, these sayings have the same message. The message is basically a lot of things in life are out of our control, good or bad. On December 31st, 2022, my life changed pretty drastically. I had just gone to Walmart for groceries and I was on my way back home. I was following an SUV that all of a sudden started making a U-turn to reverse direction, and immediately I was alarmed. Why would someone pull into oncoming traffic? No sooner than could I question their judgment than I saw what was happening. There was a car barreling down the wrong lane at us. The SUV, by the time it became visible to me, it was too late. At 4:30 p.m. on New Year's Eve, I was in a motor vehicle crash. I wish I could convey to all of you how slowly time moved and that probably 30 seconds it took me to realize I was going to get hit and then actually being hit. It was crazy. The SUV that hit me was going so fast it rolled on impact, and it was that same impact that sent me flying backwards, airbags deploying, smoke, glass shattering, and my life truly changed forever in that moment. But I also knew that whoever was in that SUV, their life was changing too. Because it was an SUV, there were a lot of questions going through my mind, including there's probably kids in that vehicle. And because it rolled on impact, they were probably dead. I hope none of you have to experience that feeling. It's not a feeling that I can even put into words. But before I could even contemplate all of that, she crawled out, the driver of that SUV, without a single scratch on her. Unfortunately, though, I did not fare as well. I had excruciating pain in my left side. I actually had a broken left arm. I broke my radius and my ulna. My radius cracked in half and the bone slid past itself, and my ulna cracked. So that sent me destined for surgery, basically, where they put 2 plates in and 12 screws. However, because of the timing of the accident, New Year's Eve, I had to wait 5 days for that surgery. That was a long 5 days, and honestly, it's been a long 3.5 months since the accident. I know at this point you're probably asking, how does that happen, right? How does someone go barreling down the wrong lane like that and hit somebody? My answer, though, is it depends who you ask. If you ask her, she's going to tell you the car malfunctioned. If you ask science or the law, the answer is a lot more complex. What I can tell you right now is that there was some level of distraction present. Drugs, alcohol, a phone, some level of distraction. The investigation is still ongoing, so I can't tell you the whole story. I hope someday I can. But regardless, we know there was distraction. Now, at this point, I want to talk briefly about my life since the accident. It's not been the same, obviously. At the time of the accident, I was working as an accountant. For those of you who know, January through April is the busiest time of the year for accountants, with tax deadlines. So having a broken arm in the busiest time of the year, not ideal. I went out on medical leave. I didn't have a choice with the surgery. I had a huge cast. I went up to here. And I returned to work, though, on February 6th, so that's pretty good. I wasn't out that long. However, I only made it 4 days before I was let go with the reasoning, you are not a good fit anymore after the accident. Up until that point, I was doing okay, but hearing those words broke me in every single way. But I had a choice to make, and honestly, it's the choice I've been making since the day of that accident and really my whole life, and it was get bitter or get better. And I'm here tonight to tell you I chose to get better. And I will continue choosing to get better because it's who I am, it's who I want to be, and I am a Sherrard Tiger after all. And last I checked, Tigers do not give up. Now tonight we're here to recognize the students who have met the selection criteria for induction into Sherrard's chapter of the National Honor Society. We are also here to celebrate those students who continue upholding those standards. Those standards are scholarship, service, leadership, and character. First, congratulations. If this was an easy feat, all of your classmates would be here with you. Instead, this group is small. This alone is a testament to your accomplishment. With that being said, though, what would you do if you had not been selected to be here tonight? It's true, a lot of the selection criteria that got you here tonight is within your control. You're good students, you give back to your community, you're leaders in and out of the classroom, and you're overall good people. But so much of life is outside of our control, and the induction process is actually a really good example of this. Whether you're being inducted tonight or are already a member, a selection committee picked you to be here. But what if they hadn't? My question to you is, would you get bitter or would you get better? My sincere hope for all of you is that you would get better, that you would strive harder for academic excellence, continue serving those around you regardless of recognition, step up when leadership is needed, and stay true to yourself when your character is tested. Because although tonight you have been chosen, there will come a day when you are not. And despite all of your best efforts, you are still going to fall short. And that's okay. Sometimes life is outside of our control, good or bad. And all you can do is keep going, keep chasing your dreams, and most importantly, keep staying true to yourself. When I was writing this speech, I came across an article on the NHS website that talked about the everyday. Everyday scholarship, everyday service, everyday leadership, and everyday character. The article was short and honestly it didn't have a lot of substance, but the word that did resonate with me was everyday. Every day we are faced with countless choices. Simple choices like what to wear, what to eat, when to leave for school or work, how much effort to put in at practice, and when to start the paper your English teacher just assigned. The list goes on. But some of the choices we face are much more difficult. These are the choices that other people often play a role in. Choices like what to do after high school. Are you going to college, going to the workforce, joining the military? Where to work if you choose to work? Where to live someday? And what we want to do with our lives. These are hard choices, but the values that the NHS is working to instill in all of you can and will help you with these choices. It might be a given, but you are all very bright students with wonderful futures ahead of you. Your commitment to scholarship is evident. However, my challenge to all of you is don't stop. Don't stop pursuing opportunities to learn, now or in the future. I often tell people I'm a lifelong learner, and it's true. Right now I'm working on my CPA, which is the Certification for Public Accountants. Not even a car accident can stop me from this. But be like that and don't stop learning. The NHS also asks you complete required community service. When I was in high school, I vividly remember several of my friends complaining about the service requirement and only completing the minimum service requirement to maintain their membership. And while I'm glad they completed the service, my hope for all of you is that you are getting more out of your community service than just hours on a sheet of paper. Community service is an opportunity to share your gifts and talents with your community. Some of you may have heard, but a week ago or so, a horse barn in East Moline burnt down. Now, because of my involvement in the horse community, I knew the people whose barn it was. I'm in my own season of loss and hurt right now, and there's not a lot I have left to give, but I knew I could still do something. So I made them a meal, and it was that meal that brought a smile to their face and that they were grateful for. That's service. I used my talents in a way that I could, and I challenge all of you to seek out these opportunities. I think you will find the need is never ending. The NHS also asks that we be everyday leaders. For most of us, when we hear the word leader, we think of our titled positions: president, vice president, secretary, and the various organizations we are a part of, the NHS included. But leadership is so much more than just holding a titled position. Yes, those people are without a doubt leaders. But guess what? Leaders don't have to have titles. Leadership is a character trait. This means every single person in this room right now could be a leader if they wanted to be. When I was in high school and college, I held several titled positions. But now that I'm an adult, there aren't exactly clubs like Class Senate and Foreign Language Club to be a part of. But that doesn't mean I'm not a leader. In fact, I'd argue I'm more of a leader now than I was then. I step up at work, with my friends, and with my family. If something needs done, you can count on me to get it done, and when you need help coordinating something, I'm probably your first call. Be the leader, regardless of the title. And finally, character. The NHS asks that we have good character, every day, everywhere. But what does character mean? The article did talk briefly about this. It stated, there are endless attributes to good character: perseverance, respect, integrity, honesty, sacrifice. Everyday character is not about praiseworthy or blameworthy behavior, but about the personal commitment to ethical and compassionate decision making. That's a lot. My character has definitely been tested lately. From being hit by a less than stellar citizen to losing my job for all the wrong reasons. I'd have every reason to be angry with the world and then some. But where would that get me? Bitter or better, remember? And with that, I'm also choosing forgiveness. I'm forgiving the girl who hit me regardless of fault. It's not like she got in her car that day and said, I'm going to hit Sydney Rolling. I'm also forgiving my former employer. It's honestly a blessing in disguise. What if that car accident had been worse? I couldn't work for the rest of my life, and that's my last employer for the rest of my life. Having good character is not always easy. After I was let go, I immediately started searching for a new job. However, because I chose to be honest and upfront about the accident and my injuries with potential employers, the job hunt was a little harder than normal. I applied to over 15 different companies, talked to countless recruiters, and struggled to get past even the first phone screen with any one of those employers. It was heartbreaking, frustrating, and took absolutely everything in me just to keep going. However, after 36 days of official unemployment, I signed my offer letter for Honkamp and Kruger on Friday, March 17th. I will start my new career on May 1st because, unlike my previous employer, my new employer has my best interests at heart. I will be able to continue focusing on my recovery, spend time with my friends and family, enjoy time on the farm, and just breathe in what feels like the first time in years. After going through all this, I think I can say with absolute certainty, character is what you have when you have nothing else. Good character is your commitment to continue doing good regardless of the circumstances outside of your control. Strive for good character even when it's the hardest thing you have ever done. In a few moments, some of you will be inducted into the National Honor Society. With the understanding you will uphold these values in both the best and worst of times. For those of you that are already members, you will continue upholding these values. I said it before, but I'll say it again. Life is unpredictable, and so much of what happens to us is out of our control, good or bad. I can't promise you that things will always be fun, easy, or even enjoyable, but what I can promise you is that with the values of scholarship, service, leadership, and character that the NHS is fostering in you, you will achieve success today and for years to come. Thank you.
Sydney, thank you for that personal and powerful message. One more round of applause. At this time, we'd like to bring Lauren Copeland back up, who will lead the introduction of new members. Lauren.
We will now begin the traditional candle lighting ceremony. On the table is one lighted candle representing the National Honor Society's torch, which is the symbol of the eternal light of knowledge. This candle is flanked by 4 unlighted candles, which represent scholarship, leadership, service, and character. The membership of the Sherrard High School chapter of the National Honor Society has been earned by the effective demonstration of these 4 qualities, held in high esteem by our society. 4 of our members will now review these qualities for the candidates. Scholarship means a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours in reading and study, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when formal education has ended, for education ends only with the end of life. Knowledge is one great element in life which leads to the highest success, and it can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past, and the light which illuminates the future. Candidates have the charge to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship.
My office is service. Service can be described in various ways. In the routine of the day's work, many opportunities arise to help others. Willingness to work for the benefit of those in need, without monetary compensation or without recognition, is a quality we seek in our membership. We are committed to the idea of volunteering our time and abilities to the creation of a better tomorrow.
Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. In taking the initiative in class and school activities, the real leader strives to train and aid others to attain the same objective. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interest for the interest of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate, no matter what power and resources might exist in a country. They are inefficient without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed, thus to lead is substantive charge to each of our members.
Character is the force within each individual which distinguishes that person from others. It gives each one individuality. It is that without which no one can respect himself, nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is this force of character which guides one through life, and when once developed, grows steadily. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant action, daily striving to make the right choice. The problem of character is the problem of self-control. We must be in reality what we wish to appear to others. By demonstrating such qualities as respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, caring, and citizenship, we may hope to by example that we value character. I will now have the candidates rise and repeat the pledge after me. I will pause after every line. All the candidates can rise. Okay, you can repeat after me. I pledge myself to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. I will be loyal to my school and will maintain and encourage high standards of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. You got it. You may be seated. Okay, all inductees, you can meet Mrs. Galliardo over there, over by the wall. New members, when your name is called, proceed to the presentation area on the stage, where you will be greeted by Mr. Thompson, Mr. Worthington, Dr. Johnson, and Mr. Fullerlove. They will present each student with a signed NHS certificate, membership card, and pin. You can then return to your seat. Please hold your applause until the last new member has received their certificate, membership card, and pin. Nadia Anderson. Broderick Bender. Elizabeth Churchill. Jenna Copeland. Quinn DeLoose. Kelsey Doonan. Savanah Hauger. Haynes.
Lindsay Holliday. Alyssa Layer. Navi Lyon. Aaliyah McDaniel.
Violet Meskan. Alli Nelson. Kaylee Nelson. Zoey Rains. Illiana Saddoris. Maximilian Serre. Alyssa Werner. Sydney Wright. Please join us at this time for an opportunity to congratulate our new members.
Please join us at this time for an opportunity again to congratulate our new members one last time. Thank you all for coming this evening. Please feel free to take more pictures of your student and NHS member up here at the NHS table after this activity. We will be taking a series of group photos here in the next few minutes. So NHS members, the new inductees, and the 39 individuals who are NHS members, all of you, we need all of you, come on up here and we'll take a series of pictures. Thank you again, and good night.